Yes, when God created something. Hello? When God created something. Yes, I just want to, I'm continuing. When God created something, just look at it very well. There are reasons beyond what you can see why God has created that thing. Why don't God make us procreate like plants? Just let me send a holy grain to the next plant and let them produce fruit. Why do I have to have sex? There are reasons for that. And that reason, we will continue to discover it all through to eternity. So sex does not only satisfy the body, it also has psychological effect on us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Femi. That will only have been handled by an expert. I'm so sure I would not have been able to appreciate the benefit of sex as much as you have explained it.
Thank you, sir.
Should we assume that it is because of the advantage? Should we assume advantages that people choose to have multiple sex partners? What is your on the ability of people having multiple sex?
For every gift God has given us, there should be a caution placed on the use of that gift. Sex, God has made it to be enjoyable, not only to humans, even to animals. However, God also that made it to be enjoyable, made it to be in the confine of the matrimonial home. Now, multiple sexual partner, as it is, has its own rate. We know that sex is a way in which so many infectious diseases, sexually transmitted infection, can be distributed. There's some other cancer too that are linked to sex, like cervical cancer. If the man is infected with a virus called human papilloma virus, and if one of those human papilloma can share it. So we know that sex, despite the fact that God has made it enjoyable, it doesn't mean that we should not take that gift for granted and use it in a way in which it wasn't planned for. By doing that, it can also affect human. You know, too much of everything is bad. Despite the fact that it should be enjoyable, it has its benefit, but too much of it or indiscriminate use of that gift could be injurious to our health. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Walere, I'm going to stay with you for this one. That says that if you continue to eat the same kind of food every day, there is a tendency that you get so tired and you want to try. If you eat beans tonight, you want to eat beans again tomorrow morning and beans in the afternoon. You might be tempted to go and buy rice in the next shop by the next time. What is your approach or what is your advice for this type of monotony in food? You understand what I'm saying? Mr. Walere.
If I may preempt you, you discover the less interest you get from it. Honestly, if you are used to a particular thing constantly, do it constantly, the tendency is there for you to get tired. The tendency is there for you to get weak. The tendency is also there for you to get disinterested. And take it from it. Even if you are not disinterested, the woman may be disinterested. Mark you discover that the sexual urge may be greater in man than woman at times. And there are some women that it's greater in them than even the man. There are women that demand more sex than man. And there are some men that requires more sex than women. So it depends. It depends. But what I know, the study is if you get used to it on a daily basis, it will get to a point you'll get disinterested. It will get to a point you'll get weak. Thank you.
Okay. The challenge that comes along with that is that some people had identified that as the reason why they have multiple partners, because they said that they have been eating the same kind of food and they are already getting disinterested. So because they don't want to eat beans tomorrow morning, they decide to go to the next shop and buy rice and dodo, you know. And when they, after eating rice and dodo, they also discover that they are getting tired. They decide to go and branch in the next shop and buy yam and egg. What is your own suggestion for people like that? Opinion.
Wow. To me, if you are a Christian, the Bible go against it. So definitely, on a Christian ground, you don't have the right to go outside your wife. That is basic. But when you remove that, maybe you go into the world and you say, okay, you test this, you discover that the more you test, the more problems you put yourself into. I have seen somebody who got married to them. In fact, a study has shown it. That you have 2, 3, 4, 5 wives. If you study them critically, though not in all cases, but if you study them critically, you discover the first one will be the best one in terms of whatever you may think of. And by the time you say, okay, you are not satisfied with one, you move to the second one, from the second one to the third one. By the time you go into it and you see, it will just occur to you that if I had known, I would have resisted myself to the first one. And to me, going outside the first one is more or less, how will I put it? It's just, what is the best adjective now? It's selfishness. That's the way I look at it. Because women, we are the same. It's the same thing. And I can tell you, if you cover the faces of women, if your wife doesn't have any features that you can use and identify her, and they tell you, and maybe he doesn't have a particular odor, and they tell you, okay, just choose somebody. The tendency is there for you to choose a wrong person from your wife. It is possible. So, to me, restricting yourself to one will give you peace. It will give you joy. And it will give you rest of mind. But by the time you say you move from one, you eat dodo, it's not okay, you want to eat beans, because you eat beans is not, so constipation will come in. To me, I don't support it. I don't support it. And that is why you see many people who go into it, at the end of the day, they ended up regretting. But by then, it is too late when the head is already off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me stay with you.
Yes, sir. I'm online. I'm with you, sir.
Okay, Dr. You're already laughing, and I don't know whether you know why the question I want to ask you. Okay, Dr. Femi.
I don't know. Yes, sir.
Some people came in with different sex styles, and I've been in a forum where the speaker suggested different styles as a panacea for having multiple partners. Is it panacea now? or as an alternative to having different sex partners. Can you explain the role of different styles in marriage as regards sex?
Thank you very much, Pastor Sheyi. You made mention of something before I was shortly cut off that eating the same type of food every day did not look boring.
Also, you heard that
I
one.
heard that. I heard it clearly. Yes, I heard it. I was at the background, so I was listening to the discussion. Actually,
okay, go ahead.
You can have the same food and make it in different way. Let's start from beans.
Okay.
You can make it oil beans, white beans,
Okay.
agoi beans, moi moi. You can make it akara. Are you getting me? This is the same beans, but you can make it. You can even add rice to the beans. Different variety of beans. Are you getting me? Even rice too. You can cook it white rice, jollof rice, turmeric rice, coconut rice. Are you getting
like that one?
Everything you want to do. So sometimes people have said that you should be a new person in the sex room all the time. Give your partner surprises. Sex shouldn't be monotonous.
Yeah.
Actually, in this part of the world, most people don't talk about sex. In fact, one of my professors of Professor Momo said, sex is what we all practice, but we pretend as if it doesn't exist. We don't talk about it in church. We don't talk about it in any forum. In fact, most people that learn about sex learn it on their own. There is no formal way where I'm sure my parents never taught me sex. But I have more knowledge about sex. I should have more knowledge about sex than them now. But they never talk to me about it. So what people now take up, we notice that most people do they really enjoy it? Do they really maximize the potential they can get to in their sexual life? No. So you can actually be new thing to your partner at every time. Let it be full of surprises. I mean, bring up new innovation. And in doing that, it may boil down to different sexual positions. If you Google it on the net, there are different ones. They will tell you reverse cowgirl, missionary, I mean, scissors. There are different positions you can think of. It spices up your sexual life. It doesn't make it monotonous. It spices it up. It makes it feel as if you are getting something new. So you can actually eat beans for a week and eat it in different way, and you will enjoy all of them. So
thank you very
let's just try to put fun. People say they have sex. Some say they have fun. Whenever I talk to couples that have infertility, there is something I tell them.
Okay.
Sometimes you will tell them sex could be fun and sex could be work. The food you eat, you could eat chicken and have fun with it. I could eat chicken, they will pet you. Please eat more now and take your drug. It becomes work. The same food you enjoy can actually be work to you. So I will not tell the couple that now you are looking for baby, pregnancy, and you need to have sex. But it could be boring. It could be irritating for someone to just wake up and say, honey, doctor said I should be ovulating now. Let's have sex. You are making it look to that man as if it's work. It could actually be great work. But you know when you're ovulating, don't tell the man. Seduce the man at home. Cook certain food, use certain perfume, take your bath, wear certain clothes, and let everything. While trying to get pregnant, enjoy yourself, have fun. And while having that fun, pregnancy will come. So you can actually have fun in your home. Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate this comment. Mr. Oluwalere.
Yes, sir.
Is it to discuss sex before you go into a relationship? Or when is it appropriate? Is it important to discuss sex before you go into a relationship or when you are already in the relationship?
A serious man should discuss sex after they have gotten married, or maybe when the relationship has become cordial and is on the maturity stage of getting married. That should be the best time of discussing it. It shouldn't speak well of a man who is just having a relationship with somebody and the first thing he's discussing is sex. A sensible woman will look at him that, who is this? Why is it that that's the first thing you are discussing? When there are a lot of matters to discuss. You've not discussed about her future or your future. You've not discussed about how to make a good home. You've not discussed about maybe your past that could help you in moving forward. And the first thing you are discussing is sex. A smart woman, if you are not careful, may stylishly end that relationship. So it's not always good to be the first thing the couple should discuss. Go into a relationship, talk about the future, talk about how to make a good home where you come together. And when the bonding is there, maybe casually, you can start discussing that. And in fact, I would advise that not until the relationship becomes mature to the point of getting married before you start talking about that. That's to me. If you start discussing it from the beginning, a smart woman might get disinterested. They might just look at this person is just coming to just kick and go. And you discover if care is not taken, it might end the relationship casually or abruptly. So it's better not to make it the first priority when you come together. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Femi.
Yes,
I had the opportunity to counsel so many couples. And one of the challenges I've had is one of the partners saying that I don't like sex at all. And my husband just want to kill me. If we have a marriage like that, what do you advise the couples to do?
Thank you very much, sir, Pastor Sheyi. I've talked to people that naturally they don't like sex. In fact, some will say they don't enjoy it. There are reasons that could be adduced to this problem. It's actually a problem. It's a problem in the sense that when people are eating food and they are telling this food is delicious, it's tasty, and you cannot taste that same food, that shows that there is something wrong with your taste bud or you are sick or something. And there are reasons, some even complain of pain, serious pain during sex. So we have to start asking them questions. Why are they having pain? Why are they not enjoying it? Because this part of the world where we don't talk about sex, and when our children are growing up, when most children are growing up, people tell them that, please, if a man touches you, you'll get pregnant. We disabuse their mind about sex, which is good for them at that stage. But we don't also tell them the truth that there is time for everything. So when they now grow up, in the mind of their mind, they already see sex, they've seen sex as something that is wrong. So in their psyche, they have problem with sex. Such people now, they've learned not to enjoy sex. They've learned to hate sex. They've learned to feel pain during sex. They have to unlearn.
Oh, Dr. Femi. Okay, Mr. Luwalere. I'm
Yes,
so sure probably lost Pastor Femi there. Do you have a comment that you want to make about that?
Wow. Thank you, sir. If a couple, maybe one of them does not like sex, If care is not taken,
Mama T,
it might
hello?
end up
Yes.
breaking the relationship.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Femi.
Let
So
me give you time to finish.
they've learned
Okay.
those things. Now, what do we need to do? We need to now, they have to meet a counselor, a sexologist. There are people that counsel people on sex. The first thing you will want to know is that what is the cause of this disinterested in sex? The cause of sinning. You see, are they being, some of them, maybe they've been molested while they were young. So is the memory of the pain, is the memory they felt that will start coming to their mind. It will take time. So we have to talk to them, talk to both the husband and the wife. Let them see that this is a problem and what are the drills. There are certain drills that could be done. Number one, does the man understand how the wife responds to sex? There are things we call G-spot. There are things that turn the woman on. You can't expect a woman that has gone to work, come back to cook, has worked all through. So now you now want to wake her up when she's tired. You see that she's always tired. What can I do not to make her tired? You want to rule that one out. Has she been molested in the past? Does she still see that scene flashing back in her mind? We have to talk back. Or is she holding someone deep in her mind that this person has molested or assaulted me? We'll talk about that. Then if she's having pain, there are two kinds of pain you can have. You can have what we call superficial dyspareunia. That means pain you feel on entering. You can also have deep dyspareunia, in which pain you feel when you have entered deep. Superficial dyspareunia majorly is psychological. You just believe you will feel pain during sex. And there's no way you will feel pain, that if that is the case, then two of them will be talked to. And what do? The first time will be they have to talk about sex. Someone will discuss with them that this thing is enjoyable. The second stage will be that, okay, they should start touching themselves. So do they enjoy romance, not sex? If they enjoy romance, yes. The other things will now follow.
Go find me.
Yes, sir. Okay,
So
I was
it's a
saying
main
something.
thing that
Okay.
has to do with training. So when they say a sexologist or someone that is a sex therapist, we discuss with them, we sort out where the problem is, and they will to find a plain level ground. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Zoluale, you want to say something?
Okay, I was saying something when he came back. You discover that if something happens, if care is not taken, that could break the relationship. That could break it. And like Dr. Femi says, you discover most of the time, I'm sorry to use this language, men tend to be selfish when it comes to this issue of sexual whatever. They don't care to know what the woman is going through at that particular moment. All what they are interested in, they want to come up. They want to come in. They want to come in. Occasionally, the woman might be going through emotional stress. The woman might be having some problems. The woman might be having some things in the past that is playing back.